And we're back again in a new episode of Dubai Stars. Today, my guest is very special. My guest is not a salesperson. My guest is not into real estate investment. My guest is into real estate content creator, one of the best in our beloved city, Dubai, Mr. Asad Ali. Thank you so much for coming in the episode.
It's an honor to be here.
So lots of people has heard about Asad, but few people actually have seen Asad. Asad is not really anywhere where people can see him. He's only on the side doing content, helping agents, being shown, being visible. And I'm talking from my own experience. I worked with Asad more than 6 months now, and he really helped me, like showing my work and showing everything through all of the social media. So today we need and we wanna know who's Asad.
Can we start with my question?
Yes.
Do people cry on your podcasts?
Why? Why would they cry on the
People cry when you interview them.
No.
You talk to someone for an hour, about an hour. You talk to people, and you ask them questions. You want to know. You want
background.
You want to know the background. You want to know people's history. Sometimes people go into their history and they get emotional. So that's what I'm saying.
They get emotional, but they don't cry. But yeah, definitely they will get emotional because this is the stage on the this is a stage in their life where they actually have buried. They don't want to remember it. Yeah. But this is we have to remember where we came from to know where we are going. So today, my first question will be to you, knowing you were born and raised in Pakistan, what brought you to Dubai?
Oh, just I was in Ireland for 3 years. I did my bachelor's in Ireland for 3 years, and Ireland is a country that is really close to my heart. I sometimes think I'm Irish, and then from there, when I finished college, those 3 years of bachelor's degree, I don't know what I did it in. I came over here. There was a job. I think it was my father's relative. He saw, I've got something in Dubai. Why don't you send? And the whole prospect of having never seen Dubai or having not known what Dubai is all about, and the whole prospect of coming to a new place was exciting. So I came here. Started with a bank. Started as Standard Chartered, worked with them for a couple of years.
Before telling me what was the start, I want to know the mixed emotion when you were coming in the city, you came to Dubai.
Hey, I was 25. You don't have emotions when you're 25. When you're 25, anything new, for an unstructured person like me, anything new is exciting. So I came here, and a couple of my friends were here. So your friends are here, and you got a job and somebody's going to pay your salary, so that's amazing. So the excitement was the emotion.
So you were not scared about can I make it? No, I will not make it. It's a different country, it's a different culture.
I don't think I thought about that. I can think now and retrospectively think about what was I going through all these challenges? No, it just didn't.
So we can say you just jumped to the unknown.
Jumped
happily to the unknown.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
So you came here in 2005. You were into banking.
So I was I did banking. Actually, my entire banking process. And sorry for the boring part of the story. My entire banking process had to do with mortgages, mortgage sales. So that's really how I got interested into property. That's really how the wheels turn and things change. That I'm sitting here with top real estate agents in this market because I got interested in the subject. I got interested in what people like and what people buy and what people sell. So when I switched from banking to real estate, I was an agent for 3 years. When I switched to real estate, I applied that kind. I thought I know mortgages because I've been selling them for 7 years. I won't shut up. I'll just talk, and I'll be very good. And it helped me during that.
So from banking, you switched to real estate, and then I think by that time.
I'll tell you why I switched to real estate. So in 2007, when things got really bad, when the market crashed, I was with Barclays Bank then, and we had to obviously restructure things because sales wasn't happening. So I was in sales, so I was like, instead of them one day telling me that you've lost your job, I'll talk to people and see if I can move within. So I moved into the collections and recoveries side of mortgages, which was active. All my banker friends told me, dude, you have to do something. Sales is not going to fly for the next 2 years. So you got to move within. So I moved into collections and then dealing with the bank's clients. One of those clients said, hey, you're good. Do you want to come and work with me? And I know. I don't think I had interest in it, but then I just really liked the guy. He was then, this is 2010, he was 52, self-made, done a lot in Dubai, selling real estate, owned his own company from the same part of the world that I'm from Karachi. And I just really liked the guy a lot. His philosophy of his business model was very simple. His philosophy was less is more. He went in, he operated the company. We used to sell ready villas. We used to do resale of ready residential villas. That's it. So we wouldn't do rentals, we wouldn't do commercial, we wouldn't do...
We're specialized in the villa concept.
Yeah. And his thing was that you come in and you're specialized in a particular community. That's your community, and you have to give your complete dedication, complete focus on that one community, and then different agents and have different communities of focus, and then we work together and we figure it out. And I like that model. And we worked very hard. He made us work very hard on, like in real estate. Real estate only succeeds, I think, if you have good stock. If you have all the stock, most of the stock. You can't really have all the stock all the time. So we worked very hard. The Jumeirah Islands was my community for the longer part of my 3.5-year real estate career. And my job was to know every single property that would be for sale. So that includes calling people, that includes door knocking, that includes everything. And every single week, every single day, we'd be looking at the competition. What property do they have a property that I do? You know how this works. That's really how this works. It's about having your finger on the pulse of a particular community, because that's only how you will be able to sell. If you have everything, if you have something good to sell, you'll be able to sell. And we actually had a policy not to work with other agents. Of course, we did at some point. Things changed. Sometimes you have to, but mostly, and the logic and the reason behind that arrogance was that, hey, we work hard putting our stock together. We're advertising as much as anybody else on the same platforms. So since we have all the stock, and if the buyers are looking at us, then they should come, and they will eventually come to us. So that worked out for me. During those 3.5 years, of 2 years I did Jumeirah Islands. I focused on Jumeirah Islands, and I know Jumeirah Islands like the back of my hand.
Which is still one of the most beautiful.
It is, isn't it? Jumeirah Islands. Okay, Jumeirah Islands and real estate agents. You know what I used to say? It was part of my pitch, but I made it sound like, when I met a client, I made it sound like I just thought of it right then and there. I used to say that, think of Jumeirah Islands, 725 villas over 3.2 square kilometers. Compare that to the one next door, which is Jumeirah Park. Back then, it was 4,500 villas on 3.6 square kilometers. So can you imagine the space to live, to breathe? And these theatrics, can you imagine living here in the space here, and then 4,500 villas on 3.6 square kilometers, and 720 villas over 3.2. The space that gives, and these theatrics, people liked it.
They love it. That's how people invest. It's the investment happens over an emotional experience. Some people inquire on Sunday, but if you call them on Tuesday, they lost interest. They don't feel it anymore. So once they feel like you're taking them into an emotional ride where they can see themselves living, growing, having kids. Every villa over there has an amazing private pool, and they have big plots.
No, Jumeirah Islands, no two villas are the same.
Yeah, and they have
because
big
of the
plots.
way they're in a circle. Everything's different. Houses like this. I love Jumeirah. I was going to use a bad word, but I'm not going to use a bad word.
Thank you.
What do you do? What happens when somebody accidentally does use a bad word on your podcast? Do you leave it?
Yeah, we leave it.
You leave it there?
Yeah, because like this podcast is not about showing the perfect image that the society wants.
Yeah.
This podcast is just to show the real stuff.
Yeah.
So if someone curses, means like it means a lot to him.
Yeah.
Like now we just want to say it.
Yeah.
So we keep it as real. There is no issue.
The only time a curse doesn't look real is when maybe you feel like somebody's cursing just to appear powerful or appear like I try not to be that person. So what's your story?
My story. Now you're interviewing me.
I was thinking coming in today. I was thinking that I like to ask questions more than answer questions.
And that's why I wanted you to be here, because most people don't know your story, don't know the struggles that you went through, don't know the shifts that you've done in your life. Even though like nowadays I see people doing a job that they are miserable in it, they hate it, there's no passion, but they keep doing it because they are scared to jump to something else.
I think people we'll get to this. I think people have reasons to do those things, to stay in that job and be miserable and slog day after day. One of the reasons why people don't, and is it okay? I'll answer your question.
Please.
I already know your questions because
freely.
we have these conversations. One of the reasons why people don't take that risk or change their jobs and things like that, it's because people have not allowed themselves to be interested or active in other things, and don't have that level of patience to see if that thing on the side works for a longer period. That's why they don't switch completely. That's why people don't change a steady stream of income, and that's fair. I get it because people have responsibilities, families. There's like 20,000 things going on. But it changed for me because huge changes happened in my life. So then that allowed me to be able to take that risk.
Tell us about those things one by one. If you may.
My parents passed away.
God rest their souls.
Yes, thank you. Both of them within a period of 10 months from each other. So everything that happens when I think maybe it's a Pakistani cultural thing. No, I don't think it's a Pakistani cultural thing. Culture is the same. Everyone's the same. I think for a guy maybe for a guy more than a woman. I think that whole thing about keeping your parents happy all the time is really kind of important.
Keeping them proud.
Keeping them
wanna
proud.
See the pride in their eyes. Like
it's not that I'm not saying daughters don't want that. I'm saying it's just who we are.
I've heard it a lot. I even had lots of guests where they were telling me, my mom wants me to be an engineer. My mom wants me to be a doctor, even though I cannot see blood. I know it. I have it, and I don't blame the parents because, as we have said, they've all done this from their own parents.
Plus, they're only doing it out of concern because it's like your best friend looking from a distance, thinking, "Oh, he's doing something wrong," but they're your age and they care, but they're not gonna, But your parents will care 300 times more. And they'll want to tell you, but they can't. Sometimes they can, sometimes they can't. So that's a parent role and their concern. But when your parents leave, when they're gone, that's what I went through. So when they're gone, I thought, because you never want to disappoint your parents, you never want to hurt them, I thought I've got no one left to disappoint. And that's real. I've got no one left to disappoint. I can disappoint my sisters, I can disappoint my wife, who's now my ex-wife. I can disappoint them, but we're all the same age. We're young, we can, adapt and change. So I was like, okay, there's no one here. No, I can't hurt anyone right now. In this moment, in this month, the next, I can't hurt anyone. So let's do something. Let me take that risk.
Yeah.
And as I was saying earlier, most people don't involve themselves in other passions actively enough to change. I had involved myself in my passion actively.
I'm curious to know, how did you get into this?
When I was working for one of the banks after my real estate thing, I left real estate in 2014 and joined a bank, heading their mortgage recovery portfolio, which was, of course, after during 2012 and all the mess of 2007 to 2010, a lot of banks didn't react fast enough in time. So they had this huge portfolio of properties that were, either in courts or this and that, people run away. So my job was to either sell them in courts or sell them in market and things like that. So when you have a job, you have money, and my wife and I, we both have steady jobs. So just every 3 months we'll take 10 days off and go travel. So when we traveled, I used to make travel videos on
phone,
make, edit, and everything. And once I made a couple of them, 2 or 3 of them, I thought I can do this. This is a talent that I have.
So you didn't learn it, it wasn't a course, it was just by you trying to capture the moment with your loved ones that I want to do it, and you found yourself like you're gifted.
Yeah, and they were good, and they were good videos.
I'm sure.
I didn't make no slideshows of pictures, they were videos. Anyway, so I thought I have a knack for this is cool, and then because I like to watch things to get inspired, to then create, I came across real estate videos. There's this one guy that I really followed, and he used to just really make really cool real estate videos, listing videos. And I thought, I can do that. And I have that real estate inkling, that real estate feeling in me. I was like, this could sell. Like, people could pay me money for doing this kind of a thing. I was right. I just didn't know that it was going to take people 25 years to start. 3 years to be exact. So I was right. I started thinking this. When I decided to leave my job, I thought, before even getting my license together, I was so confident that people are going to eat me up that I was thinking about who am I going to hire as a support system to help me edit the 20, 30 videos a month that I'll be doing for so many different people. My pitch was ready, and my idea was like, I started thinking, how am I going to avoid calls? How am I going to say no to people? Because
I'm fully booked until this day.
I'm fully booked, and how am I going to say, because I want to, through doing this, I want to build and create these relationships. How am I going to say no to people? And so that didn't happen.
But at least you had the vision. You saw what's coming. You saw like, this is exactly what I want. You had the passion boiling in your body. You were like, let go of everything else. I want to do this no matter what.
You know what changed that? And I regret that I didn't start doing this thing a year before I actually started doing this. Listening to
people's opinion. It will never work. Get yourself
No.
in a job.
You know what changed that? Listening to Gary Vaynerchuk.
I know you're such a massive fan of him.
I take him too seriously. And I think he's literally the only single most one person worth listening to when it comes to when you come into your own and you want you want to think what it is that you want to do, what is you can do, what is it that you can afford to not do, or, so listening to him and really getting what he was trying to say, what he's trying to tell us, I went with that. And because I started, so I knew that I needed a portfolio, so I contacted people in the industry and started making a couple of videos for them for free. I needed something, and that's how it really rolled. And then, with one real estate agent, I got to know other, and then others, and then I started posting all of that onto social media. One day, I was in one of the real estate agencies filming something for their CEO, and one of their senior realtors who, like, we followed each other on social media, and he said, and when I met him, he said, "Oh, it's nice to put a face onto, we knew each other. We didn't communicate, but we knew what the other person does. But he said it's nice to put a face onto the Instagram handle that I see.
Yeah.
Because on the Instagram handle, they see something that I've done for someone, or a picture, or whatever, or not even my picture, something or the other, and that really stuck with me. And I said, hey, yeah, like." Putting that, I used to think that my talent is going to sell, my talent is going to be enough, and that just that one line from that person made me realize, no, it isn't enough. The person is what's important.
Of course, seeing is believing,
Seeing
and
is
that's what gives you the credibility at the
Yeah.
end of the day.
Do your podcasts go this way, where one person just talks and not letting you talk?
It's not about me talking. I'm here to listen to you.
No.
I want to know your story.
So, and now that you see what I do, even when you and I work together, I was always saying, hey, let's make this more about you, not what you're selling, but what are you selling? Okay, so the property or the stock or whatever it is, that's less important than Anthony. That's how I use, and that's how I sell things. So to me, listing videos are boring.
100%.
I don't think listing videos sell
I don't
properties.
even see any of the listings videos.
I don't think listing videos sell properties. They're good for visibility, but I don't think they sell the property. The person sells the property. And somebody said something really interesting, that when somebody sees you on different platforms on social media, they then go to the property portals to know what you have, like Property Finder.
How many listings you have?
What would you have?
community
Yeah,
expert,
yeah.
Your verified listings.
They see you here first on these platforms, and then they go on.
Like they will look you up over there.
Yeah. Did you see Alessia's post about Jaoude?
And the landlords who hanged up on her, then he called her back and say,
so real. That is so real. That's like, I read that and I was like, yes. You know what I mean? Like, this is what it is. Then hang up the phone, but this is that person that I see on my LinkedIn feed every day. Oh, of course I'm going to call her back. The whole thing about being active on social media, and the whole thing about being there, executing, is about visibility. It's not about looking perfect or being perfect, or I mean, I can talk about
and
this.
I think you have a major issue with this topic, where you see someone and you believe he's an amazing person, and he is like genuine person, not just a person who's trying to make one sale and disappear.
Yeah.
Some people work very hard, almost 16, 17 hours a day. And you were like, I like this person. I want him also to be visible, where people also will like him, and you're sure that they will like him, but you will see them in their own shell. They have their issue being in front of camera.
Yeah.
They are worried what they will say. Will it be perfect? How do you tackle this stuff? Like, how do you convince a person that just do it?
By giving as much time as possible to bring them at ease with it. I give it time. I give as much time as possible without having to worry about, hey, will I have to do this 20 times? I like people. People are important, and my agenda is if it's people that I'm trying to show, then I have to work on them. There's no quick way about this. Sometimes I write scripts for people so that they can feel comfortable enough to be on camera, read a script off of a teleprompter. So, and get over that hurdle for that one time. So when they'll see that first video of themselves, they'll go, oh, this is not really that bad. I'm going to do another one.
And the second one will become better.
Second
and
one,
the
and
third one,
and
the
then
fifth
they're on the
one
way.
will become natural.
Exactly, and then they're on their way.
Yeah.
So I see myself as somebody who wants to try and get people to start and then be on your way, and 2 months later you don't need me. That's how I think.
And this is what's giving you satisfaction, by seeing yourself making a huge
Oh, sure.
impact
Yeah.
on someone's life.
Yes. I think the impact thing is a byproduct of what I do. So I've become this person who just wants to do this. So so for the past 2 years I've been in situations with real estate agents and on floors all the time, and people have said to me, why don't you do real estate? Because you're there and you're so familiar, and why don't you do it on the side and get people and get deals done? And then it's possible if I was smart, but I'm not. And this is not just self-deprecating. I'm not just saying it to sound cute. I don't think it works like that.
You cannot do real estate on a hustle or part-time.
Yeah.
No. It's actually
That's what I was getting at.
double shift time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I said that's not possible. Also, because maybe that'll be purely money driven, and I can't do that purely money driven thing on the side.
However, if you want to do money on the side, you can send referrals, which you will be making money. Like, for example, if someone tells you, I'm looking for this, you can say, that's this guy's number, he will help you. You can make this one. But for you to go look for a property, then come do your content, film, then go do your editing.
Yeah. No, hey, by the way, I've thought many times in the past, not anymore, not at the moment, but I've thought many times in the past that if I was a real estate agent, I'd do exactly what I preach, and that would be good. And I could do well as a real estate agent. I've thought about it. But anyway, I'm happy to do what I'm doing.
You're doing your passion.
Yeah,
you're doing what makes you
I'm
happy,
doing.
and that's why you're very successful in this industry. Just wanna ask you something. Like, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I have no idea. Well, I have no idea. But
I'm sure you have a plan somewhere where
it's because things change so fast. What I do because I don't want to leave this question unanswered. I think I did a post about this a year and a half ago, where somebody who was interested in investing in me, to invest in me to make a production house or something or whatever. And use my creative talent to make a production house to then go, whoa, big production house, 20 cameras. They asked me in terms of how much will you earn, how much do you see yourself in 2 years or 3 years. And I didn't have an answer to that question then. I don't have an answer to that question now. My answer, however, is I just want impact first and revenue later. That's how I think. With a businessman, like a pure businessman who wants to put money in to get an ROI, they're
for
going
a
to
quick
success.
return. You're planting the seeds.
Yeah, so I understand that impact first is more important, because if you invest 300,000 dirhams into me, into my business to become a production house, I'll just be another production house getting into price wars with other production house. My production house will only be as good as the people I hire, or the people who work, who do the work. In this country, it's hiring and fights. It's not like other countries where you just hire someone and then you say, "Oh no, you're not good, you're gone." It's expensive to hire people and fire people.
Of course.
This country has rules, and those rules have to be followed according to how this country wants to function. So these things are important to this country, and within that structure, I can't get into that. That'll take me half a day to just worry about those things. Who am I firing and who am I hiring? So anyway, but my answer to the original question was, I just want people in the real estate industry, to think that this is the coolest guy who makes the coolest content.
The guy in
That's
the city.
it. That's really how I thought. That I just want everybody to love me. Not love me as in needy or me, but
if you want the amazing work, you come to Asad. Period.
that's how, like, so these are the words of a business guy like you. Okay, my words are that how are you not coming to me? That's how I think. Do you not see? I'm never going to ask you or chase you to come to me. So you lose out if you don't come to me. I don't. I used to think that. I still think that. Like, there's 8,000 people who are real estate agents, and there's one of me. So if you don't come to me, I don't lose out because I have other people I can focus on, right? And what I was also trying to say was, I'll say it when it comes to me. Yeah. So that's
now you've been doing this for the past 2.5 years.
Yeah.
I am sure, if not everyone in this city knows you. Let's say
no.
50% of the city.
No.
At least the people in the industry. You're everywhere.
I'm talking about.
I got to know you from social media.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like very hard to find you.
Yeah.
You're all over. Doing like at least like now you have a signature in your video. Like now I can any video. You're like show me 10 videos. I will tell you this one is Asad's.
There's a reason. There is a reason why you eventually got to know me. There's a reason why other people. It's because I operate in such a manner, or I integrate my personality in the relationship in such a manner that if I do something with you, I go and post it on my feed as well. And I would not give anybody a reason to say, hey, don't post it on your feed. Because, it's like a client relationship that everybody's so used to in the corporate world and general things that, hey, you make something, you can't post it. I don't care. Because my answer always is, hey, somebody sees you through your audience, they will see you through my audience. So there's nothing to protect here.
Absolutely.
Just spread it out, whether it's through me or through you or through whoever.
So for the past 2.5 years, almost 3 years, you've been doing this constantly, going out with agents on sites and house stuff.
Yeah.
What was the most awkward situation you were in filming? Awkward, funny, something you remember?
I wish I had an interesting answer to that question.
You must have a day.
Can you think of something that we did awkward?
I don't know, mine, I don't know if it was the most awkward when me and you went to Heart of Europe and you didn't get your ID with you, and we had to come back and to rebook another site for like, it took us 2 months to come back to that site. Yeah. But I don't know if that was the most awkward one, so...
No, for me it was. I felt bad because it wastes time. It wastes valuable
But after
time.
that, we got 4 videos in the same day
We did,
when we were
didn't we?
going to
We
Maidan
did.
and running
Yeah.
around over everything.
So
So,
we used
it wasn't a
Yeah.
useless day.
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah.
it was very productive day.
We made really good out of a bad situation.
Nothing can come to your mind like when you, let's say you're going to film, a security guard came to you, jumped on you, where's your NOC, you cannot film in here, you cannot remember.
I have
like
the
that.
ability to say, no, that's happened a couple of times. That's happened, somebody not allowing to. I just hack my way. If I'm outside, I'll just film on this. Because I don't know, I know how to put it together, to edit it and put it together. So I don't worry about filming from my phone. And normally people will say, no, well, the client will not appreciate you filming from the phone. I just say, okay, well, I don't need that client. And this is not because I'm arrogant. This is about practicality. Do what's practical. So for me, making content, so many times, if I just have one camera when I'm filming somebody, I'll set up my phone as a second angle. I just want to get a second angle from someone. I'll borrow a phone to get a second angle, So I just go with practicality, and when something like this happens where somebody says you can't film, I say, okay, sorry, I apologize. Get out. I don't get in trouble. I would have gotten in trouble if I had continued to own a drone and continued to fly it over residential villas, which I did. I would have gotten into real trouble. And one day I decided, if anybody asks me if you have a drone, even though I had it, I said, don't have it.
Or we go to the desert.
Or we go to the desert, which I'm not going to do. Because in the desert, what are you filming really? So then I would have gone into trouble, but I'm glad I was confident enough to say that, hey, no, I don't have a drone, and no, we can't make you look.
Let's get into seeing the result of the work.
Yeah.
I know easy dozen people who worked with you.
Yeah. What dozen people say again?
Dozen people have worked with you.
Yeah.
This is what I know. I'm sure there's more than hundreds, but the dozen that I know.
Yeah.
And they all had a successful story until they met you, where they elevated the successful story.
I hope so.
You participated. I'm talking me myself from my own experience, where you helped me a lot, share the knowledge, share my thoughts at least, and put it out there, and that really elevated me in the game, and I'm sure it did it to a lot. What were the most beautiful words that you've heard from people, rather than thank you and stuff?
Man,
I'm sure some people told you some stuff that
you're
stuck.
asking this question.
Come on, you thought it's gonna be an easy podcast.
Oh my god! This is
like these words that touch your heart.
The answer to this question is going to be tougher than editing a talking video.
But you said
Oh my god! The words that you just said now, and I've heard these words before from you, from people, and let me just say this: it didn't necessarily happen during the process of making videos for people. It happened during meeting people that I never ended up working for, but them saying, "Yeah, I heard that post you did once, and you said such and such. You said something." That's pleasing. That's important for me. I don't know, but during filming, there's like so many things. I can't think of anything right now. To me, everything stands out because I focus on the words so much. I create stories like the emotive things that I create for people. I bring it out of the words that they're saying, as opposed to how the whole thing looks. So the words that are coming out of the person's mouth make the thing look the way I want to. So that video with you where you're talking on the phone, playing pool, that video, shooting of that video and your voice in that video have nothing to do with each other.
Because those are different sides.
Exactly. Exactly. Have those your voiceover happened when we were. I just asked you a question. We kind of
had a cigarette break.
We had a cigarette break and we were talking. And I just
kept my mic on and that was recording.
Exactly. Yeah. So I just heard that and it just stuck with me that I have to do something with that piece of audio. I have to do something. And then that happened where it was just filming. I thought because I film, I have a camera. Let's just film it. Maybe use it. So that's. So to me, all words are important.
Okay.
I enjoy everything.
Let's stick to that. Now I just want to ask you this question. Would you work with anyone or you are selective with the people? Have you ever turned a client down? And by client I'm saying an agent, business owner, managing director, whatever he is. Like would you say no to someone if you don't see? Tell me about
I think
this.
I think I would, although it'll be unfair to say that I think I would, because all of this and all of that I do, because all of this is so new, and after people talk to me for 20 minutes, they realize, oh my God, this is going to be hard work. This is not just a guy in front of with the camera who's just filming me. This is going to be hard work because I talk and I say things that, hey, we can do this, we can do that. And it's not come to a point where somebody has said to me, I really want to work with you, and me saying, yeah, I don't like you. It's not come to that point. Fewer, and I'm actually happy that it's happened this way. Fewer people have come to the point where they've really made that decision to. Normally what happens is, and what has been happening as far as marketing is concerned, is that for business people, marketing seems to be the marketing lady's job.
Mm-hmm.
So she'll prepare, marketing lady or the marketing guy who sits in that corner will prepare everything, and you just have to be in front of camera and they'll do it, and something will come out of it and no one cares. Me, when I get into a situation, I have to make you care about this. And I get involved. That's why we become friends. I get involved. So that tells people that this is going to be hard work. And which has resulted in not a lot of people going the full way and continue, not even starting. I've had many situations where I've sent out, business proposals and things like that, and people disappear. But they don't disappear because I'm connected with everyone on social media. So I know, and I never call them back or email them, hey, so what happened to that? I know you're watching. Why are you watching? Not because of my pretty face. You're watching because I'm executing and it's relevant. That's why people are watching. So I don't worry about it. But yeah.
So you're reachable to everyone, and allow me to share your Instagram account, which is asad.creates.
Asad.creates.
And Asad
because
is
I do.
Create.
Because I do.
And Asad is always reachable on this Instagram.
Yeah.
Feel free to see his content, even to ask him for a question. I think that's the only person in the world that will give free knowledge. He will tell you how to do exactly on your phone.
Right. Yeah. No. Like I think what makes me different, if it does, if anything does make me different, it's that I think I'm the only person who goes within this industry, within the real estate industry, who goes as narrow and as deep as I do, dedicated to this industry. Anybody can make video.
That's true.
Anyone can make video. I can make video. I can film other stuff. But I chose to go narrow and deep into this
the
thing,
real estate.
Because I right in the beginning when I decided to do this, I thought of what's happening right now.
Mm-hmm.
What's happening right now is a bunch of people think that I'm good for this industry. They like me because because that's what I show. That's my brand. So my brand is this guy creates content for real estate. So automatically, if my work is good, then people in real estate get interested. That's really how it works. So this is what I thought about 2 years ago when I started, So I stuck with this. If that's the word,
it is the word.
I just stuck with this,
Mm-hmm.
and said, and I knew I'll suffer, and I did. But yeah, I don't know how else to do it.
Feel free to reach my guest. Asad creates. He's on Instagram 24/7. He doesn't sleep. Sometimes he texts me at 4, 5 a.m. editing videos.
It's fun.
This guy is always available. He even will show you how to buy mics, how to use mics. Even if you want to edit videos on your own phone through applications, Asad is very helpful. Here you go. You just heard it from my guest, coming from Pakistan to Ireland to Dubai without having any plan, jumping between banking and real estate and ending up to be one of the best real estate content creator in this city.
Did you just call me a videographer?
No, content creator, I'm sure of it. Thank you so much for watching this and see you soon in a new episode.